So one Christmas tradition that we actually started last year, quite controversial to be honest with you. I'll be honest, it is something that it took quite a lot for me to decide to do this tradition. What do we have in line? What are we actually going to be doing for 2023 and beyond?
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories.
Welcome to our Christmas traditions video. This is going to be full of great ideas for Christmas traditions that you might want to start with your family. A really special Christmas tradition, which actually has only happened the last few years. I would say the last 3 years. Actually, no, probably 4 years, is a Christmas Eve box for Emily. Now, I know it's quite a big thing now, but years ago, it wasn't as big as what it is now. But yeah, this is a really special one. I'm just going careful because I've actually got a candle on. Didn't want to set the house on fire. So this is Emily's Christmas Eve box, and it's so beautiful. So this particular Christmas Eve box I actually purchased from Not on the High Street, and as I say, it was probably about 4 years ago. I absolutely love it. I think it's so special and beautiful. You can get so many Christmas Eve boxes though, so I'm not going to go into all the different types of ones that you can get. If you want to see more from Not on the High Street, I'm definitely going to do a haul because I've been doing lots of, well, I say lots, not lots of shopping, but I have done quite a few orders recently. So if you're interested on Not on the High Street, I'll definitely be looking to do a video on that. So subscribe if you haven't already and watch out for that video. So I usually put in it Christmas pyjamas, an item of chocolate, usually some type of game, whether it be a smaller type card game. We did get one last year that was just a really small card game that then fitted in really well. Obviously if you get something too big, it's not going to fit in the box. So usually some type of game, some item of chocolate, pyjamas, and when she was a little bit younger, as in a few years ago, something like a little soft toy or, you know, just something else that she was maybe more into. But usually those type of things are what I put in the Christmas Eve box. And quite often a Christmas decoration for a tree. I don't try to spend too much money. I do try to get pyjamas, usually in the sales. I try to pick up just a nice pair of pyjamas. It needs to be Christmas ones though. I do tend to do Christmas ones, but I tend to get them in the sale, so they're a little bit cheaper. Pop them in. Christmas chocolate, you can get something quite cheap anyway, but I do try not to spend a fortune. I've got a really special tree ornament for her this year though. I've got that from Not on the High Street. A book, often I've put sort of storybooks in a fair few years ago. Now it would be more proper reading books and things. Emily's been asking actually for quite a lot of Christmas stories in terms of actual, you know, reading books, not picture books or anything like that. And I've got some really good ones actually, so I might put one in here and then save the other one or two for 1st of December. So yeah, just some really good ideas. You can make this as expensive or as cheap as you want. It really depends on what your budget is. But I think Christmas Eve boxes are really special. They can be taken a little bit too far sometimes because at the end of the day, Christmas Day is the next day, isn't it? And they're going to get lots of presents and things then. But I do think it's a nice idea, and I think it's even better for an older child. I wouldn't have done it when Emily was really little. I think it's better having Christmas Day when Father Christmas has been. Love it. So I think Christmas Eve boxes are definitely better for slightly older children and teens. I think it's just something that's really special that they can enjoy the day before. We actually paint things and make things. Look at this. So, bought this from the Works. Was this last year? Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. It was last year. Bought this from the Works. I think it was actually half price. I haven't noticed them this year. I've noticed a few other bits and pieces, but not these sort of set of houses. I wish I bought them more, you know, more of them last year because we had a wonderful time making these. I think it's such a wonderful thing to actually sit down together as a family. All three of us jointly put effort into this. So one person painted while somebody else did a bit of like Christmas colouring in or Christmas activities and things at the table, and then the other one painted a bit more, and we just all took it in turns and put little glitter on there, if you can see on the camera, just some glitter on the white part there. So yeah, we just made it up as we went along, to be honest. None of us are particularly great at crafts and painting, but I do think we did quite a good job. and I've not got it right now because I've got it in my hand, but this is going in my kitchen. So it's just, again, a Christmas tradition of doing something crafty that you can all do together, and it could be something big or small, just what you feel comfortable doing yourselves, what you're able to do. We've also done these painted rocks before, so I think that was the year before. Yeah, so this one here, that one, is what Emily painted. Now, I think she did an amazing job of doing that. And as I said, this was a couple of years ago. So I think these are a wonderful idea. I think they're really good to get all the family, even, to be honest, just as adults. I think if you like anything quite intricate painting, but I can't believe how good that was, really, for Emily to do that a couple of years ago. I think that's really good. And one of my attempts, which I don't think is as good as Emily's, if I'm honest. Which one did I do? We've done them all, but I'm just not going to show you them all because, in all honesty, they're not all that good. But we enjoyed doing them. So it's this one with the cottage kind of look. So that one is what I did. I'm trying not to put my arm in the candle. Yeah, in all honesty, don't have a candle too close to you because it's not very safe, is it? But I'm monitoring it, I'm fine. And it looks pretty and it's Christmassy, so why not? So yeah, Christmas rocks. I think I got this randomly, I think from Clinton Cards. Could have been somewhere like that, but as I said, a few years ago now. But we loved doing these. Again, it gets everybody together. You can chat while you're painting. They're all like little acrylic paints, but you could buy your own, bigger things of acrylic paints. So one Christmas tradition that we actually started last year, quite controversial, to be honest with you. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. I'll be honest, it is something that it took quite a lot for me to decide to do this tradition, and it is something that I'd like to keep going for a little while longer, maybe just a few years until Emily's quite a lot older, and maybe there's other people that join us on Christmas Day. I don't know how long I'll keep it going for, but controversial. I didn't cook Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. That's right. But what I actually did do, so before anyone thinks, how can she not do Christmas dinner on Christmas Day? I do love cooking. It's nothing to do with that I don't love cooking or anything like that. But I did do Christmas dinner on Boxing Day. So what I decided to do, in all honesty, for many years since I was much younger, I've always cooked Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. Rarely have we gone, we might have had an odd Christmas Day where I've had Christmas dinner somewhere else, in terms of my mum and dad. But usually it's been me that's done the cooking, and as much as I have loved it, I do love cooking, I do love doing Christmas dinner, I love planning it all and things like that. I do think that, and I know Emily's getting older, she's not really little anymore or anything like that, but I do think you miss out on so much on Christmas Day because you're constantly thinking of the food, you're constantly busy, you're cooking, you're clearing up, you're doing all these different jobs. And you know what? I just thought, start a new Christmas tradition. So last year we decided that we would literally not have Christmas dinner and take a real nice, relaxing break of a day. And we did. It was beautiful. It was so nice to just not have that pressure of cooking Christmas dinner on that particular day. I think it gives you so much more time in terms of opening presents, watching Christmas movies, just relaxing, talking to one another. And just, playing games, and just, instead of me saying, actually, no, I need to go to the kitchen to do this, that or the other, I think it's just really special to actually have that time and really appreciate that time together as a family. Each to their own. Obviously, some people have traditions, and that's not going to change, in terms of always doing Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. But for us as a family, just the three of us on Christmas Day, it's worked out really well. I really enjoyed it, actually. I really enjoyed just not doing that, for this year. But I, for one, thought it was a brilliant idea. I did enjoy just having the three of us and having that time to just spend together rather than cooking. And I do enjoy cooking, as I say, so I make the Christmas dinner on Boxing Day instead. Another thing that we do on Christmas Day, starting from last year, that we thought would be just a really nice, again, with the whole relaxing side of things, we just stay in pyjamas. Clean pyjamas, but we do have pyjamas. That's right, I don't get dressed, I just stay in pyjamas. Some people might say that's really lazy, why would you not get dressed? But for many years I've got really dressed up, or I've wore Christmas jumpers, and I think from last year I just felt that it was more important to spend that time together as a family than worrying about what you look like. So I don't wear makeup, I'm in my pyjamas, and it's just a lot more relaxing. I've just really enjoyed the day a lot more with Emily and my husband, and just focus on presents, as I say, and time together, games, films, lots of different things like that. But on Boxing Day, I do wear a Christmas jumper, or I might just I think it will just be a Christmas jumper. Years ago we used to get dressed up a lot more, but I'm not as bothered about doing that now. I think a Christmas jumper is perfectly acceptable for Christmas Day or Boxing Day, and I'll do a full Christmas dinner with all the trimmings on Boxing Day. So it's something we started last year, but I'm definitely going to continue it for this year. And who knows, I might change it back next year. I might think we're missing out somehow or something, but I don't think we are. For Boxing Day, it's really nice to just do the dinner then, as I say, because then I've not got all those other things really. I think it's a case of I can get up, prepare the dinner, and just have that nice time of cooking and enjoying the cooking for what it is. And again, it's just the three of us for Boxing Day. Later on Boxing Day we see family, and throughout the rest of the Christmas period we see family. So we've got other things on. So I just think it's really nice to separate the time spent together with movies and games and presents to the cooking side of things. But comment down below, what do you do for Christmas Day? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's a fun thing to do, or would you absolutely not do it? And as I say, don't judge me. It's just something that I just personally feel is a really good tradition that we want to keep going, because that just works for us as a family. But yeah, comment down below, tell me what you think. So I think I've already mentioned about Christmas baking in terms of the 1st of December. I'm sure I mentioned that before, but Christmas baking is definitely high up there with our traditions. Me and Emily do lots of Christmas baking together. So things from putting a gingerbread house together. We've made our own before, we've bought them before, but we definitely do a gingerbread house. And we also do Christmas cupcakes. I make Christmas tree pancakes, and I'm quite impressed with them actually. I do think I do quite a good job just at theming a lot of Christmas things. It might be something that we put in an upcoming video. I've not decided fully yet what exactly we're going to be putting out in terms of Christmas content. Again, anything that you'd really like to see from us leading up to the Christmas period, just comment down below. A bit of Christmas baking probably will be in there at some point, so that's definitely something that I think is really nice to actually do together. Me and Emily, obviously mum and daughter, spending time in the kitchen, Christmas baking, it's just wonderful. There's no price you can put on something like that. It's just lovely to spend that time together, make something, and yes, eat the treats after. I don't think actually making a lot of things yourself is as bad as buying a lot of the processed things from shops. Don't quote me on it, I'm not a health professional, I don't know all of the things and the facts behind everything. But there's something about just making things yourself, either cooking or baking, and I think it's wonderful that to have that time together is lovely, but also just to enjoy a treat at the end of it. Perfect. So another tradition we love to do is a Christmassy day out, usually 1 or 2 days out if we can, just going somewhere different. I mean, sometimes we've gone to the same place again, but often we do try to go to different places and just explore in terms of what Christmassy things they've got. I love going into department stores and just Christmassy things, Christmassy markets, anything like that. So we usually just go somewhere different and have just a really nice Christmas time together, and I think that's really important as a family, just to make that time and definitely go somewhere new and just try to explore a lot of Christmassy things that they might have on offer. Obviously we've often gone, see Father Christmas, done Christmassy type things like that, which has always been really, really special. Obviously Emily's getting a lot older now, so it's just obviously deciding the things that she'd like to do. But in all honesty, as long as there's food and hot chocolate, Emily's there, definitely. What we do like to do is everywhere we go, we do like to buy a Christmas bauble or something for the Christmas tree. Not every single place we've gone, because it does depend on where we've gone and if it's anywhere particularly special. One year, not Emily, just me and my husband, we did go somewhere very near Christmas, and we actually went somewhere really special, which was New York. Quite a lot of years ago now. It was back in 2017. And in terms of Christmas decorations, I just thought I'd show you all this. So we got this from New York. So as I say, even though it wasn't a Christmas day out in the UK, even going to other countries and picking up something for the Christmas tree. So we've got a lot of Christmas ornaments from Disneyland Paris as well. Go check out our videos if you haven't already. We've got lots on our channel in terms of Disneyland Paris. So yeah, I mean, everywhere we go really, we do try to pick something up, whether it's a case of it's a trip that we've done abroad or whether it's just Christmassy days out in the UK. So I think that's a really nice thing, because all of those Christmas memories that you put on the tree, it's just really nice to look back on. Something that we really like to do each year is to actually give to a charity. Now, last year what we did is we did the Guide Dog Sponsor a Puppy. This is Pudding. So we actually paid money each month, you know, just like a standing order really. So over the year we helped sponsor Pudding. Previous year we did Martin's House at the children's charity, which we actually continued to do. So each charity each year we've tried to just do a year of paying for that charity, and then we've normally swapped and done another one. But Martin's House, in terms of being a children's charity, I do think that's really special. So we've continued that. So we pay that every month anyway. But yeah, this is Pudding. Love it. So a guide dog, sponsor a guide dog is what we did last year. So this year, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we usually get together as a family, the three of us, and try and decide on a really worthwhile, to be honest, all charities are worthwhile causes, aren't they? So it's really hard to pick. So we'll sit together, the three of us, and try and decide on this next year's charity. I think, if I'm honest, we'll still keep giving to Martin's House and we'll still keep giving to the guide dogs. So I think we'll just end up having a third one. We already give to St Leonard's Hospice, so I think, yeah, we'll probably set up another one, and then I think the following year we might have to take one off. But it's really hard, isn't it? That's the problem with the Christmas tradition, you see, because each year we say we'll set up a charity and then we just add to it and add to it. But, you know, all these charities deserve as much as we can give to them, don't they? So, yeah, we'll definitely be choosing another charity. We usually do that before Christmas and then set it up for the following year. As I said earlier in the video, that I wanted to cover some brand new traditions that I want to add to our list for 2023. So what are they? Well, I've come up with a few. I don't know if we'll do all three that I've got here. But what I want to do is, the first one I'm definitely doing because I've already bought it. I'm going to buy something new each year. Is something to do with doing things together through the next year to follow. Now, I can't say much more than that because it's going to be on an upcoming video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But it's something to buy. So thinking of an idea of something that you could buy. So for argument's sake, it could be doing some type of painting or something, and you could set yourself, right, okay, I'll buy this gift over December, but then for the following year, every month, we're going to get this out and we're going to do this together as a family. The gift I've bought isn't that. It's something that we're still going to do together as a family, but it's not that. It's definitely to do with eating. So yeah, I think it'll be really exciting actually just to do something, buy something that you have for Christmas. So I'm not talking about putting it out at the beginning of December or anything like that. I'm talking about something that I would buy as a Christmas gift for Christmas Day and then surprise the family in terms of this is what we're going to do, you know, every week or every month or a few times in the year, but something coming up for the following year. So I think that'd be a really nice tradition to actually do. Another thing that I've thought of actually is something that we did kind of touch on a little bit when we weren't going out through the pandemic and things like that, but we didn't really do it fully, like we didn't do it properly as a Christmas tradition, but I want to do it. I'm going to do a themed evening at some point through December, a themed evening to do with celebrating another country, how they do Christmas, all about that country, maybe theming food that they eat, just anything that I can find out about Christmas in that particular country. So for argument's sake, we could just pick Germany, for instance. So we could look into the history of Christmas in Germany, you know, what they do, what traditions do they do, what type of things do they eat, and then try to theme something. Some things might be a little bit difficult to do, but I'm going to try my best to do a themed evening to do with another country. So another one that we were thinking of in terms of just something really different is in terms of childhood memories, thinking about things that we used to eat from our childhood, and maybe having like a themed evening or a day, but sometimes just an evening like as a tea or something to make is something quite easy that we can all sort of fit in around anything else that we're doing within December. So this is something that I would set up as a new tradition within December that I'm going to do this year. So thinking of a childhood meal that our mums would make for us, something that was just something that we felt was really important. And then every year what we'll do is either make that same meal or potentially, swap it between me and my husband, or something that maybe Emily had when she was younger. Just swap it between all three of us and make that specific meal that family member has requested, and make it a Christmas tradition, make like a bit of a themed evening or something around it. But I just think that's really nice to kind of think back in the past, childhood memories and things, and make a proper evening of that. And again, it's just sort of bringing the family together for past memories, really. So yeah, I think that's definitely one that we're going to start doing for 2023. One thing I like to do is make my own Christmas crackers. Now you can pick things up like these ones from The Works, lots of other places like that sell them. Often they can sell them half price. That's when I tend to buy them and put them away. And they're really easy to make up, they're really simple. I don't need to discuss exactly how you make these up because they're self-explanatory and they're really easy. They usually come with jokes and hats and all those bits and pieces that you would normally find in a Christmas cracker. But what I tend to do as a Christmas tradition is actually make them my own sort of stamp on them, really, like in terms of theming them or thinking of what, depending on who that I'm making them for. I have done them before as presents, I've done them for other people, family and things that have been coming here, and more recently, if it's just been for us, I just try to think of what would them people like in their crackers. So obviously for Emily, it might be something different to say my husband. Obviously you can buy things like little miniature alcohol bottles and things like that. So clearly I'm not going to put that for Emily or another child or anything like that. But yeah, chocolates or, just anything at all. I have done like mini games. So one year I did, made them all Christmas themed and got the little sort of puzzle, like with a little ball and like a little maze, just little Christmas game ideas that you can pop in, and just lots of different ideas really in terms of theming your Christmas crackers. So I've really enjoyed doing these each year. I haven't actually thought about exactly what I'm going to theme. This is sort of the last thing I tend to think about. I tend to try and do all my gifts and all the other things for Christmas, and then I try and have a really good think of what I'm going to theme my Christmas crackers. So I'm not actually too sure this year what I'm going to do. It probably will involve a chocolate or two in there. Really good theming ideas are things like socks. Obviously if you picked a pair for the person who is going to get it, obviously I realise when you pull a cracker you don't know exactly who's going to get it, but you get my meaning. You could have one that's specific for that person. So a sock one, gloves, anything like that, where you could pick up something cheaper. So places like Primark, obviously they sell really cheap gloves, really cheap socks. They're quite a good idea because you don't want to make a Christmas cracker super expensive, do you? Unless you want to, obviously then you could have more upmarket Christmas crackers, but I'm pretty sure if you're going to spend a lot of money you'd probably just buy them rather than make them. But there is a lot of joy in making a lot of these type of crafty things. As I said, they're really easy to put together, so it's just really thinking of a theme and then popping something in it for the people. So drinks, Christmas ideas, socks, gloves, chocolates, an awful lot of ideas if I'm honest. So yep, I need to put my thinking cap on. Definitely need to do that. And talking about the thinking cap, has everyone seen our Primark video, our menswear Primark video? Go check it out. It's definitely got something to do with the thinking cap. So I'm gonna put my thinking cap on, get some ideas going for the crackers. But I think a socks one would be quite good. Maybe Christmas themed socks. I think that's a really good idea. We have lots of books in our house, and especially lots and lots of Christmas books that I've collected over the years from Emily being tiny. Oh, this one is so cute. She's had this since she was 1. To ones that when we've been away, so when we went to New York, we got Santa's sleigh is on its way to New York City. Love it. And then even just cheaper books from The Works, places like that, where you've just got, this sort of storybooks, which these type of ones are getting really young, for Emily now. Obviously she's a teenager. But these have all been part of our Christmas traditions, as I say, since Emily was about 1. Probably even less than that, if I'm honest. We've always had a lot of Christmas books. What I have done over the last few years or so, just to put a little bit of a different spin on just having a book, you know, to read, just really trying to do something a little bit different, is I've wrapped the books up. So I used to buy quite a lot of these type of storybooks most Christmases, and then at one point I realised I had an awful lot of them. So I decided to start wrapping them up, and then basically we would just pick a book a day, unwrap it, and then read that book, which was really exciting, especially when Emily was a bit younger. These type of books that she's had for many, many years, I didn't wrap these ones up because these would just come out as a given pretty much most of the time. And if I'm honest, when I say most of the time, if you listen to this, can you imagine hearing that every single night before Christmas? Yeah, it did get a little bit repetitive. It's an amazing book though. I absolutely love this book. I adore it. I'm going to keep this forever and ever. It's going to go in the loft when she doesn't want to look at it anymore. But even though she's as old as she is, she still secretly wants to read it. This is such a beautiful book. So this is obviously a hardbacked book, so it's definitely meant for younger children. Whereas the New York one is really, really nice. Obviously, unless anyone's going to New York, you won't be able to get it, will you? But you know, it's lovely pictures of New York and more like a proper reading. Obviously the night before Christmas and like storybooks and things like that have a lot more stories to them as well. But yeah, for a few years we used to wrap the books, pick a book and then read it that evening, which was really exciting. Now we don't tend to do that. We just tend to put the books in a Christmas sack and then just pull out what we want to do when we want to read it, really. I know obviously a lot of these books, you know, and again, people watching might think, well, Emily's a teenager, why on earth would you read these books? Because it's a Christmas tradition and it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, if you want to read a book like this, I would still sit and read it, to be honest, because it would give me the joy of thinking what it was like all those Christmases ago when she was only 1 and 2 and, you know, growing up. And when she was old enough to start reading herself and start reading all of the words on it and playing the music. It was just so magical. So to be honest, putting these books out year after year after year is just a Christmas tradition, and why not? You know, there's no law to say you can't get a storybook out. It doesn't matter how old you are. So whether you wrap them up and have an exciting read in terms of you're not going to know what you're going to pick up, or whether you just pop them in a Christmas sack or something and pick a book out a day, we've definitely got enough Christmas books to last the whole of December easily. So I do need to start moving on some Christmas books, but right now I can't bring myself to do that because they just hold so many memories. And as I say, Christmas tradition that I think is really, really lovely. And I think if you've got young children, especially more younger children or grandchildren, it's lovely to sit in bed and read several books, you know, one after the other kind of thing, and ones that they're excited about. So I think that's an amazing Christmas tradition. And don't stop it just because your children get older, just because you're getting older. You know, why not? I mean, some of them you might want to move and not read them each year if they're really young. But other ones, you know, you can expand on your Christmas stories as well. You can get books that are obviously a lot older as well, you know, for older years, older children. And just a Christmas tradition that has started quite late, to be honest, for us. We didn't have naughty elves when Emily was younger. I don't know why they didn't come to our house, but they didn't. Might be the fact that they might have been a bit too naughty. I don't know. Maybe Emily was too naughty for them to come. I've no idea. But we didn't have naughty elves. But now we do. They come each year and they create mess and they do naughty things, but funny things. You know, they're not really, really naughty, but they do funny things. So yeah, we have the naughty elves that come, you know, sometimes jump into the Christmas trees and things such as that. So we love having them around, you know, for the whole of December. So it's all good fun, isn't it? So yeah, the naughty elves do come. We have 2 of them. So just to make it double trouble, really. But Emily loves it and I love it. And yeah, I'm glad they come now. One other thing that is completely free, that is something that as a family we just really enjoy doing. It is something that we started doing around quite sad times during the pandemic, but it is something that we've continued to do. And I think really as a reminder of what things were like then, you know, when you could obviously go outside but not really go out places or anything like that. We chose to walk around our local neighbourhood for maybe half an hour or an hour. Obviously back then we did it, and we still do it now as a Christmas tradition. What we look out for is all of the Christmas trees that are lit up, so they specifically have to be lit up. It doesn't count as part of the game unless they're lit up, they've got lights on, or Christmas wreaths or whatever. We choose a specific thing, so it could be Christmas trees. We walk around our local area looking to see how many Christmas trees that we can spot with lights on, as I say. It sounds probably a bit boring that, you know, why would you do something like that? But actually, we've had a lot of enjoyment out of it as a family. I just think it's been really nice that we can do something together like that that's just completely free in your local area. You can have a nice walk around. You can chat about other things as well, you know, on the way. But you know, it's quite funny how you spot something, you spot something else, you spot something else. It's just a really fun thing to do. But as I say, in the back of our minds, also does take us back to the time of the pandemic. And I think it's a reminder, really, you know, in terms of how lucky we all are right now to be able to go Christmas shopping and do all these Christmas things. So yeah, it's something that we still do now as a Christmas tradition. And we do try to have a bit of a competition in terms of how many Christmas trees, again, lit up Christmas trees, are we going to spot? We'll all have a guess in terms of, well, there might be 20 or there might be 40 or there might be this, that or the other. And we have a guess and then we walk around and see who gets the nearest guess. So it's just a really fun game to play, as I say, walking around your local neighbourhood, and it's free. You know, it's free, and I think for us personally, it's got a lot of memories attached to that time. So that's what's made it a Christmas tradition. And I think, don't you think really Christmas traditions is all about the memories you make within them? I definitely think, I'm definitely a believer in Christmas traditions that I think, yeah, you can have funny ones and silly ones and ones that you might do some years and then not do other years, but I think it's really nice to try to have ones that you stick to each year, not to feel the pressure that you have to, but just because you want to and you actually really look forward to doing something. Really hope that this video has given you plenty of ideas in terms of Christmas traditions. You may already do them, you might just want to start something for this year or plan for years ahead, but I really hope it's given you some really good ideas. Remember to check out our channel in terms of lots of videos on there right now. Primark, travel, holidays, my weight loss journey. There's so many things out there on the Brownie Life right now for you to check out, so definitely subscribe, give us a like, check out our other content, and I'll see you for the next video. See you later, bye. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.